Hi guys. Okay, we should be good. Um, let's see if everyone can find the link and get into here. We may have an issue, and that is my internet. Let me see. What? No, I don't want to share my screen. Okay, I want chat. Chat is open. There we go. Opening chat. Okay. Okay. Hi guys, I see you coming in. Okay. If we get disconnected, don't freak out. I will do my best not to freak out if we get disconnected. It is snowing. And we have Starlink, and it doesn't tend to like when it snows or when we have really bad weather. So if we get disconnected, I will just pre-record everything that I planned on talking about today, and I will upload it whenever internet is accessible. But yeah, it is like, it's really snowing right now. That's kind of unexpected. My husband mentioned it might snow, and I didn't believe him. And here we are. It is just, I'm like in an upstairs room. Let me see if I can like show you without dropping my whole laptop. And I can see out my window, I don't know if it's really gonna be clear enough to see, it's just piling up on top of the roof outside. And it makes me so nervous to be like snowed in for days at a time. And I'm totally unprepared for it. But we make do. We keep going. Okay, let's give it like one more minute. You guys can use the chat. If you find the chat button, it's just like a little speech bubble down next to the little people. I think yours looks like mine. But you should be able to pop into the chat and you can say hi. Let me know how the weather is where you are. And we will get started in just like a couple minutes. I do want to make sure that no one's having trouble getting into the challenge before I really get started with the challenge. Okay, when I go and look, it looks good. Easy little button to push when you're on the screen. I don't see anyone. No one's sending me a message saying they can't get in. So that is good. Okay. Let me go ahead and set this up so I can see your chat while I read my notes. Excellent. Great. Okay. All right, so for those of you who might be new here, let's see if I can see who's actually in here. Hi, guys. Okay. I see you guys. Hi, Megan. So sunny. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have snow. I'm so surprised by it. I'm not a fan of snow until after Christmas. Or like, Christmas Eve. It's not even Thanksgiving here yet. Okay, cool. Yeah, this whole thing's not just about my distaste for snow. We're gonna keep going. It's pretty, but I like it outside, and I still have to do outside chores today. So that's fine. It's cool. It is what it is. It's pretty. I'll share some pictures in the group afterwards when there's snow covering everything, because that's what it looks like it's gonna be. Um, I'm gonna tap into the vibe of cheer. Catherine, 80 degrees. Oh, I would love that. I don't know why I live here. It's okay, it's cool. My husband loves the snow, so he'll be in a really good mood when he gets home today. Oh, yeah, I could see that. Okay, so my whole spiel, guys. So those of you who are new, we're gonna go and get into it now. Really get started here. And so, for those of you who are new, I'm Brittany Clarkson. I have hosted the Meant to Bloom podcast for the last 3 years, I think. I've taken the last few months off and really focused on this group, the Bloom Room, and I've really focused on showing up over on the group membership side, which I'll talk to you a little bit about that later on today too, because there's like a VIP upgrade and everything that I will offer you as well. I know some of you are already in there and we have so much fun, but I've been really prioritizing showing up for like a monthly masterclass and just being available for ongoing sort of coaching in the direct messages and in that group. And that has been really, really fulfilling to me and very peaceful that it was just one thing I was pouring into and not worrying about, putting out a new podcast episode every single week and then sharing it on Pinterest and social media and all of these things. So if you followed me elsewhere and you're wondering, like, thinking I stopped doing stuff until I sent an email about this challenge, I haven't stopped. I just poured all the focus into one small area so that I could be so much more available to my family and to my home, and to my own personal like health and whatnot. And I have to say that pulling back and like focusing hard on one spot has been super fulfilling. And I do want like this week to be a time to invite so many more of you into that. So anyways, that's me. I would consider myself a mindset coach, I guess. Personal growth coach for hot mess moms is really how I like to put it. So yeah, I'm here for you. I'm here for that. And I am always willing to share so many resources because over the last 4 years of being in this business, I have put out so many resources. And I am aware that sometimes they can be kind of hard to find. So if you're looking for something and you think I might already have something for that or could create something for that, I'm totally down. Get into my messages. Let me know. I really love the two-way communication and actually like hearing from you guys. That's really important to me. So anyways, let's go ahead and get into this day one of our attitude detox. We are here to really adjust the attitude heading into the busyness of a holiday season, which as humans, making this holiday season, like, it doesn't make sense that we make winter a busy time of year, where our kids are in school most of the time. I mean, around here, our kids get like 2 weeks off for Christmas and that's it. Like Christmas to New Year's and then they're back at it. And I think a lot of them go back and have like midterms right away and things like that. And it doesn't really make sense being that we are human beings. And like from a scientific, genetic, psychological standpoint, we have this tendency to want to hibernate. We want to winter. We want to go slower right now if we're actually listening to our bodies and to our minds. Excuse me. And our society really doesn't set us up to do that. So this sort of attitude detox is kind of setting us up in a way to be in the right mindset and to be in the right physical conditions to take on our busy season and and all of that. All right, so I did want to share this quote with you before we get started, before I lose it. Whatever you're not changing, you're choosing. So sit with that for a second. Whatever you're not changing, you're choosing. So what kind of things have been going on in your day-to-day life? The kinds of things that feel like they're heavy and they're stressful, and the things that feel like they're not going the way you want them to go, but they continue going that way anyway. If you're not changing it, you're choosing it. And this week, I want to give you the empowerment and I want to give you the tools to change those things so that you can look at your life and say, hey, I really love this and I'm actually enjoying being here right now. I don't theoretically like my life. I actually like my life and I actually love the way things are going and it actually feels good to wake up and be me in the everyday, in the everyday habit of things, right? So there's a lot of like science, psychology, and philosophy that goes into this idea of taking care of yourself. And I only allotted us, about 15-ish minutes today. We can go over, but I don't want to keep you here for an hour on day one. Typically, day one of a challenge does go a little bit longer than the other days, just because we have to lay that groundwork of, hey, here's who I am, here's what we're doing this week. Today, we are really talking about your basic needs, and I think these are so fundamental to living a good, happy, joyful life. I have seen so many times in this industry of like mindset and getting into like a lot of manifestation and stuff like that, with a lot of these other coaches out there, the personal growth coaches. And so many of the times, like especially in social media and stuff, I see people really promising that like self-actualization and enlightenment and, becoming that best self in such a high way, which is something that in psychology, Abraham Maslow, he had this pyramid of needs, and self actualization was at the top of it. But you can't actually get to that, that self actualization, that living, at the top of your, mental self until you've met all of the needs below on the pyramid. Okay, and a quick Google search will show you tons of images of this. Of Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs, is what it's called. But the base one is physiological needs. If you don't have your physiological needs met, you can't move up to the next level and successfully actually achieve these different levels of needs that you have in your life to get to that self-actualization, that, fulfillment of living your purpose and being passionate about your life, right? We have to start at the bottom and work our way up. So at that bottom is physiological needs. Then it moves to safety, to love and belonging, to esteem, and then self-actualization at the top. Today we are really talking about those physiological needs. A lot of this week we'll be focusing in on those physiological needs. They are the prerequisite to everything else, okay? And those physiological needs include air, water, food, sleep, shelter, clothing. Very basic needs that we tend to think we're achieving every day, but how do you actually feel in these areas? And that's something we're going to kind of look at, and we're going to talk about practical tips. All right. So putting yourself first in the most basic of ways is what gives you a capacity to put others first in so many other ways. And as moms, we tend to put ourselves on the back burner, and then there was this whole fad of self-care and like you need to do things for yourself. But how much of that was telling you to do something that was higher up on that pyramid? How much of your self-care is taking care of those basic needs first? All right. And I'll be the first to admit, like, I don't always take care of my basic needs 100% of the time. I have to pull back and reset and remind myself to go back to the basics over and over again. So there's this thing that I have heard pretty recently in my life, and it's kind of a mind-blowing revelation for me. Okay, so last year we found out that my oldest kid is special needs. He's autistic. He's on the spectrum. And we kind of always knew, we just didn't have a label for exactly what was going on, so I wasn't really reading directly into that. And when I started reading into that, I came across this concept of capacity versus capability. And I couldn't help but, think, well, sometimes I struggle with knowing capacity from capability too. I get those confused. All right. And the concept is basically that a lot of people are capable of a lot of things, but do they have the capacity to follow through with that capability? Right? Like as moms, we are capable of doing everything we need to do, but do we have the capacity to do it? All right, this week, getting those basic needs put onto an autopilot, getting them met, making it a habit to meet those needs is what increases your capacity for caring for other people, right? All right, so some ways that we can prioritize basic needs. All right, so again, we have sleep, hydration, air, clothing, shelter. Maybe take a minute and think about what need do you know is not being met? All right, what need would be really easy to meet? Like, hello, hydration. Hydration is one that's really easy to meet if we're just paying attention to what we're doing and we're willing to make tiny little tweaks to make it happen, right? I know some people really hate the taste of water, but there's so many things out there you can add to water. You can add lemon juice. You can add any kind of, hydration stuff. There's like homemade Gatorade recipes with like, you just add a little bit of salt to it. There's ways to make water drinkable. And I actually really like to just put like a tea bag in it, like a mint tea or like some kind of a light flavored tea or a fruity tea. I'll just put a tea bag in my ice water and let it add a little bit of extra flavor so that it makes it easier to drink. But hydration is something that's really easy to meet, and a lot of times we don't. And I mean, could do a whole class on just hydration alone, the benefits of getting enough water in, and how it makes your skin look better, which makes you feel better. And it's just sort of a domino to meet these basic needs. You'll find that all of these basic needs are sort of a domino effect where you meet those needs, and then other things in life tend to get easier. They tend to get better. I wanted to check that I was still streaming online. I was like, wait a second, I haven't looked to make sure my internet's still actually going. It is. Okay, we're good. So hydration. If you can get a big water bottle that's got like the, time of days on it, and if that's what you're into, do like one big water bottle that holds all the water for the day, and you make sure you drink that every day. Or you can set an alarm to drink a cup of water every couple of hours. There's a lot of ways that you can just make this something normal that you do. And if it's not hydration, maybe it's nutrition. All right, you make a meal plan that you're willing to stick to, or just start your day with a really high protein breakfast that you're excited to eat, something you can look forward to, something that's simple to put together. Like I really like to just have some like brown sugar oatmeal, and then I put vanilla yogurt on top. And then a little bit of like pumpkin pie seasoning. It's really yummy. It's really simple, really easy. And I know with all that yogurt in there, there's like I know I'm getting some protein. I'm getting a kick. I'm getting something to start my day off without an empty stomach. And I mean, how cranky do you get when you're not eating enough, right? Or you can get on like a meal delivery service for dinner to make sure that dinner's happening easily and that it's something nutritious that's good for your body, right? Air. How does the air feel, right? I think sometimes we forget to really breathe. Like breathing is a really powerful tool to calm your nervous system, to regulate your nervous system and all of that. And it just gives you that moment of peace before you have to go back to everything. So what if you were to do, you could do like breath work, and you could really intentionally spend some time focusing on your breath and like hacking your mind with that, because it's such a meditative process to do breath work. Or you could just make a new habit of taking a non-smoking break. Like how cool is that? Like I was thinking about that the other day. Like, smokers have this one thing going for them where they step out every few hours and they go get outside and they just kind of decompress and de-stress for a little bit. Like, what if you did that but a non-smoking break? What if you just went outside for 5 to 10 minutes every few hours and you just took some deep breaths and you just, decompress. You let go of the weight that you've been carrying all day and you just took a moment for yourself. What if you made that a habit? All right. And I mean, a bonus, what if you use that time to also reflect on all the great and beautiful blessings in your life and sort of tap into that gratitude at the same time? Right? So let's think about sleep. We could go on and on about sleep, right? Are we all getting enough sleep? I think we can think of a million reasons why we're not getting enough sleep. But can we think of any tasks we're actually doing, anything we're actually doing to make sleep easier and better for us? I've been hearing more and more that women actually need more like 10 hours of sleep every night. And I think that we tend to feel guilty for getting too much sleep, which then keeps us from getting enough sleep or enough quality sleep. So a few simple things you can do to start having better sleep would be to clear off your bedside table. Just declutter it. so that that space feels better and you don't have this extra weight of anxiety based on that clutter right next to you. Get a like red therapy light or a salt lamp. Those help with I think it's like the melatonin production. That red light, the red glow helps put you to sleep. Put your phone on night mode or leave it in another room completely. Staying up on your phone all night will like wreck your sleep cycle, I guess. And just make sleep some kind of a ritual that you're really in love with. That alone can make a powerful difference. Is just making things into a ritual that you're really in love with and that you don't, where it doesn't feel like it's like a task, or it doesn't feel like it's another thing on your to-do list. It doesn't feel like something you have to do. It feels like something you want to do. Let's talk clothing. That's real quick. Yeah, all of us are wearing clothes, but how do they make you feel? You don't have to have like the nicest, fanciest clothes or anything, but if you just create a capsule wardrobe based on the clothes that you really love, the ones that are your favorite pieces that fit good and they feel good, put together like a little capsule wardrobe and then group those together and just kind of let those be your first string options. Constantly try to be wearing what fits and feels good above anything else. And consider letting go of everything else in your closet that doesn't fit and doesn't feel good, things you don't like. But I'm not going to tell you that today's the day you need to go declutter your closet. I'm saying start prioritizing wearing things that feel good. That can have a big impact on your day. Because I used to wear clothes that didn't fit right and they didn't feel good. They were materials that really bothered me, and I didn't realize how much I hated what I was wearing until I really questioned, does it fit? Does it feel good? And I was like, oh, just because I've been wearing it doesn't mean I have to keep wearing that. I can wear something else. Being cute is not my top priority when it comes to clothes anymore. It has to fit and feel good first. And shelter. I'm guessing if everyone here has internet access, we're not out on the street without shelter. But start thinking of your home differently than you have before. Start thinking of it more as an escape, as your haven, as your sanctuary. All right? Because too often our shelter, our home, starts to feel like a source of stress when it should really be a place of rest. All right? And we'll visit that topic a bit more later too. So now we've gotten into covering those basic needs and talking about how important they are a little bit and talking about some ways that we can prioritize these things. I want to give you an action task for the day, and that is to commit to just making one of these basic needs a top priority. All right, and just for this week, I want you to, we'll get in the group, we'll post what your action task is or what area you're working in, and just build this daily habit, and then we can help like hold each other accountable. Sometimes just letting someone else know, like, hey, my intention is to do this. It really helps you stick with it better. I don't want you just to hear what I'm saying and then leave and not do anything, and then come back tomorrow and hear more and leave and not do anything. So really take the time to think about which one's easiest. Which one of these is an easy domino I can knock down that's going to start a rippling effect the rest of the week, the rest of the year, the rest of my life, and make things easier and better? What's going to set me up to have a higher capacity to show up in life for myself, for others, for my home, for my family? What is the thing that's going to have a big impact with a little tweak and adjustment? Right? So go ahead and post that in the group chat, or you can post it like in the event comments for day one, or I can post like a homework, I hate homework strand or whatever. But we'll go ahead and do that. And we'll just kind of keep chatting about this a little bit here and there, and I'll see you again tomorrow at 10 a.m. I'm really glad. I'm hoping my internet totally kept going. It says it's recording. It hasn't said it's kicked me off, so I'm hoping it didn't disconnect me a long time ago. Also, I want to invite people into like the VIP experience I've been posting a little bit about. So if you sign into there's the membership space, and if you sign up into that, it's $22 a month. It gives you access to all of my digital vault, all the digital downloads that I've already created, things like the Happy Mom Brain, I think Embody Love is in that one. It might be in the free resources. There's a lot in there too. It also gives you the Unstressed Holiday Planner, which has lots of templates and tools for planning events and holidays, plus a bunch of holiday themed coloring pages and like winter themed coloring pages that are just a lot of fun. A great way to decompress and de-stress, taking care of yourself, doing something for yourself. And then it also gives you access to the Masterclass Archive, which is all of the masterclasses that I've already taught for the last 6 months here. We've gone through the entire Happy Mom Brain workbook and done a session on all of the topics through that. So there's already 6 sessions in there. All that's left is a Q&A sort of wrap-up recap session to add. But you'd have instant access to all that if you sign up. And then in, about 3 minutes, we're going to meet over there and you have an opportunity to do like Q&A questions back and forth. And I can actually like hold your hand kind of and guide you in more of a group coaching way, or I can guide you to other resources that are already in the digital vault for you. So yeah, that's definitely an option for you. You don't have to, but also I will offer the first 10 people who get into that VIP experience, the first 10 people who sign up for a membership and then send me a message with your mailing address, I will send you one of my planners for free. So I'll put that out there. That is an extra added bonus. And I'm really excited to see who jumps in over there. I'm excited to see the rest of you tomorrow. All right, guys, take care.